Welcome back to Football Daily. We're talking transfers yet again.
Yeah,
and let's talk shocking transfers. What is shocking about this transfer window? A lot of people saying Radamel Falcao.
it's pretty surprising, isn't it? I think, yeah, pretty shocking.
Is it?
Well, I think, you know, he was linked with Madrid all transfer window, and then all of a sudden, I think it was the night before, the news was City and Arsenal were going head to head for Falcao, and then by the morning, Man United had sort of signed him up. So it's moved pretty quickly. Not exactly what they needed, perhaps. The one thing you'd say they didn't need on deadline day was another striker. They needed another central midfielder, obviously another centre-back. We've sort of been banging on about this the last few shows. So, although it is an impressive statement of intent to get Falcao to your club and Angel Di Maria, big, expensive, world-class players, it's not what they needed. So, do you think Falcao is a good signing? So, it's a loan move, 6 million loan fee next year. I think, is it what? They're going to have to pay 50-odd million to make it permanent?
That's not a loan, that's just a permanent transfer you've slightly delayed.
It's sort of like a try before you buy sort of thing. But he's, like I say, 28, he's just coming back from a bad injury. Do you think he's a good signing for that reason?
A lot of people do say he's a good signing, and they say that he's recovered from that injury very well.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant signing. He's a number 9. He's a striker, he's a goal scorer. Since moving to Europe, he's scored 104 goals in 139 games. It's averaging about 3 goals every 4 games, which is a pretty incredible record.
Yeah.
So that's what he's going to give Man United. He'll give them the goals, and I could see linking with Di Maria, those two could, you know, that combination could be a brilliant partnership. He's on a hell of a lot of money is the only issue. I think he's earning something like 57p per second. So if he dropped to 50p on the floor, before he picked up, he'd earn the money back.
That's brilliant.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. So United shocking, sure, but who else is shocking in the transfer window?
I was quite surprised on deadline day about Danny Welbeck. That seemed to come from...
Really?
I was surprised that he went to Arsenal. I'm not surprised necessarily he left Man United. The talk was he was going out on loan to maybe Spurs or a club like that. But for Arsenal to come out and make that a permanent deal, 16 million, I was quite surprised. I think he is a good signing, but again, Arsenal needed a top-class finisher. They were obviously, they've been crying out for that sort of cutting edge since Robin van Persie left, essentially. So is Danny Welbeck exactly what they need? I'm not sure. I'm not saying he's not a great player and a good signing with a lot of potential.
Mate, I'd argue he's a top-class finisher.
Yeah, I'd say so. His chance conversion last season was 25%. So of the Arsenal forwards, only Podolski had a better chance conversion.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where if he plays centrally, I think he's brilliant on the ball. He can bring these midfield runners into play, and potentially he will get you, 15 goals in a season, you'd say.
And in that system, he's going to look good. I think I love Danny Welbeck. Right?
Yeah, I know this.
So I think he's just going to do well.
I think if he does get, like, I don't think he is a top quality finisher, but at the same time, he's never had the chance to prove, maybe arguably only at Sunderland when he went out on loan. That's the only time he had a run in the team as centre forward.
Yeah.
He's going to have the opportunity to do that now. So it's up to him to sort of prove to everyone, prove to me that he can do it.
And I'm sure he will do that. Let's talk about best signings of the transfer window. Who are you?
Best, I think. Got to look at Diego Costa.
Yeah.
I think I had my doubts about him. Wasn't too sure, but 4 goals in 3 games, is it? So I think he's a very impressive finisher, and yeah, he gives Chelsea obviously what they were lacking last season. Cesc Fabregas as well. Was he 25 million? I think? Yeah. Hit the ground running. Fantastic signing for Chelsea. Yeah, I think those are the two best signings of the window so far.
We should mention Sanchez. I'm going to say Sanchez maybe for the best signing because, well, he's Sanchez and he was quite desired by a lot of other sides and signed for Arsenal.
He hasn't had the smoothest of starts, but I think he will prove himself to be a fantastic signing.
I think Balotelli's going to be in a really interesting one.
Yeah.
In terms of you don't know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah. I like the idea of Balotelli being an interesting signing. The best though.
Value, 16 million.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent value.
Toni Kroos, 20 million, World Cup winner,
incredible,
24 years old.
Yeah,
not even at his peak.
20 million is that's a bargain for Toni Kroos.
Good bargain. Yeah.
Moving on, worst signing of the window.
You know what? That is a tough question, but I think Shane Long could be up there because he's so overpriced. I like Shane Long.
Yeah,
12 million.
Nice guy.
Balotelli, 60 million. Puts that in context. Also, there's a couple of sort of 10 million plus signings for a few of the teams in the mid-table, lower half of the table that they seem like disasters waiting to happen. I'm thinking like Enner Valencia for West Ham, Abel Hernandez for Hull City, Brown Adey for West Brom.
Sure.
Very strange move that one.
Yeah, I think one of them is a disaster waiting to happen.
Just
be a massive flop.
I agree. 10 million is a lot to spend on a player, but there's no longer really a market where you can spend 4 or 5 million and get one of those players. Arguably, the 4 or 5 million is now the 10 million players, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm just saying, for those clubs, that is a significant sum of money, and perhaps it wasn't the best spot.
Best team of the window.
I'd potentially argue Man United. Obviously, we've thrown
Towards
buckets,
the very end.
buckets of cash, yeah. But yeah, maybe over the whole window, terrible. But deadline day, got a lot of players in that are top quality. Danny Blind, Falcao, Angel Di Maria not coming on deadline day, but you know,
Close
the week
enough.
before, close enough. So yeah, I'd say Man United were up there with their signings, but it's whether they can gel and fit into this new system that we're going to have to throw out.
I think you can't look past Chelsea. I think the difference is Man United arguably didn't sign the players they needed to strengthen the positions they were weak. Chelsea have done exactly that. Diego Costa, like we said, best signing, brings that cutting edge to the team. Cesc Fabregas, obviously very good. Laurent Remy, very good backup for Costa there. They've also got Didier Drogba's back.
Drogba, that is pretty key.
You know, Felipe Luis. So I think they've got, maybe only second to City slightly, they've got the most complete squad in the Premier League. So, you know, for Mourinho to do that through the window and also to get rid of players he didn't like Luis, Romelu Lukaku, and almost sort of, you know, almost break even. I think that is a very impressive window for Chelsea. But do you know who had the best transfer window? Definitively.
Ooh, Joe Cole.
Bayern Munich.
Oh. Ooh.
So I think they spent, I'm going to say around 40 million, I think it was like that. They got Lewandowski for free, Xabi Alonso's come in,
Oh, yes.
Mehdi Benatia, Sebastian Rode, among others, you know. So 40 million for all those sort of players. They've strengthened in key positions. Xabi Alonso, everyone loves Xabi Alonso.
Everyone loves Xabi Alonso.
Robert Lewandowski is a complete striker. I'd say he's an upgrade on Mandzukic in that sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're very well positioned, obviously, to win the Bundesliga and maybe win the Champions League back from Real Madrid.
I'm not sure about Xabi Alonso. I think he's a very, very top player.
I'm going to stop you there.
No, just let me finish my point, right?
It's not a point, let's just say that, alright?
I think that he would have suited coming back to the Premier League. I think Bayern Munich, before Alonso joined, they looked really good. They had some young lads in Guardino that looked absolutely brilliant, 97% pass accuracy in his first game. I think Xabi Alonso maybe is taking a step back for Bayern Munich, because where Bayern Munich are, elite side in European football, but the likes of Man United, the likes of Arsenal could have done with Xabi Alonso, and that would have fit a lot better. Maybe not a bad signing, but it didn't. I don't know if it fits.
Look me in the eye, mate. You're wrong, alright? You are so wrong, alright?
You look a bit like Xabi Alonso, I reckon.
Try my best. You're wrong. Okay. Get out.